Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. Some faces I recognise, some I don't, but I think it's really good that people are coming together to talk about the issues that we're discussing today. I'm very happy to welcome our new Minister, Halligan, and thank him indeed for his first event, and we look forward very much to working with you. So thank you very much indeed. So I'm conscious of time, and the main business of the day is to talk about the work that the team are doing in an Irish context. So I don't want to delay that discussion, but I just would like to take a few minutes to situate this work, if I could, in the Irish context, because it's important, I think, that it isn't seen as a disconnected initiative or something that doesn't play into the mainstream of the work we're doing in higher education in Ireland, and that we do have, as you will all know, a very vibrant programme of change in Irish higher education, and within the department we're working very closely with colleagues right across government and with the higher education sector to design and implement what I think is a really, really important programme of change in higher education. There are many strands to this programme of change. It's highly complex. Trying to align anything across government is, I know it's difficult to align things in higher education institutions. It's really, really difficult to do it in a government and political environment. So trying to take together and decide what the important things are for Ireland is the first job, and what we should focus on. And it's clear that we have, as a system, as a government system, as a higher education system, taken the view that entrepreneurship and promoting entrepreneurial education is actually a core element of what we should focus on in terms of our future development. That renewed focus is clear in the publication of the first entrepreneurship policy statement, published very recently in 2014. So we're seeing, if you like, in that context, a very strong locus for thinking about entrepreneurship in a very systematic way and moving the agenda forward. And the promotion of entrepreneurship is a key feature of the annual action plan for jobs, which has been very central, I think, to our recent successes, which Brian has alluded to earlier on, in terms of regaining our position in the world economy. So entrepreneurship it's a big and important agenda for Ireland, and the higher education system plays a central role in that national system. So Ireland can't be successful if the HE system doesn't work, and clearly the HE system can't be successful if Ireland doesn't work. So we need actually together to recognise that it's in all our interests to find good ways of meeting both the domestic and global challenges that we collectively face. So that's, if you like, the overall context. So what are we doing about it? Well, we do have a roadmap. Again, you'll be familiar with this. We have our National Strategy for Higher Education, published in 2011. It gives us the roadmap for the development of higher education in Ireland to 2030. Focuses, amongst many other things, and names, again, which is important, the development of creativity and entrepreneurship skills as being core to future success in higher education in Ireland. And we are collectively, as you know, in the process of building a more coherent system of mission diverse, complementary and highly collaborative institutions in Ireland. And I think we've gone a very long distance in achieving that in a relatively short period of time. And in designing and steering that kind of big programme, as I say, you have to be very selective about what you choose to do, which is why it's really interesting and important that entrepreneurship has been named as such a central issue in the overall programme of change. So then for people like Deirdre and myself, we're there thinking, okay, entrepreneurship, what does it mean? How are we going to know it? What are we going to do about it? So luckily in this context, HEInnovate came over the horizon, and we were able to take out our lassos and grab it, and to pay a particular compliment to colleagues in the EU who, when we said we were interested, responded really, really quickly, and we had very little difficulty in actually tying down the arrangements for what is, I think, quite a complex and challenging process. So it went really, really smoothly, and I would like to compliment everybody who was involved in that process. And we are very pleased to be a pathfinder here. We know that there's been a pilot project in Bulgaria. We know that other projects are happening, but it's nice, I think, and it's very nice for Ireland that we have been able to take an early start position in this context. So the third thing I would say is the timing is good. Sometimes you can have really good projects, but the timing is bad. You just have it, but you can't do anything with it. But actually, it's perfectly timed, I think, if we do it, if we get a little bit of luck, because we have the National Skills Strategy, which again, Deirdre was very, very involved in the drafting, and we have Innovation 2020. So we have two really big pillars of national development moving into place. We have others, but I'm just highlighting those. So in terms of the skills strategy, we'll be working on a whole range of human capital and talent elements, and we will be able to take the entrepreneurship element, I think, very far in this context. And the work that HEInnovate has done and will do is perfectly positioned to be taken into that policy agenda. Other people have said they're not allowed to talk about other things. I'm not really allowed to talk about future funding, but I'm just going to say, that the work that we've been doing in future funding is also highly relevant, and there is a connection between the work that's done in the higher education system and higher education funding, and that's why entrepreneurship is actually very nicely placed in that context. So next steps, we have, as you will probably know, our guiding framework is the Systems Performance Framework for Higher Education, which I some of you may be familiar with, but it essentially sets out a number of objectives for the system, and it's against those objectives that the strategic dialogue and the compacts are put into place. And again, timing is good. We're in the process of reviewing the existing System Performance Framework, and we would be planning to review and reform that for 2017 onwards. So again, very timely in terms of putting the thoughts and the ideas that have come from this work into the policy context. So very, very interesting. And in that context, what the System Performance Framework helps us to do is to address the challenge of aligning activity right across government. So our colleagues, we would work with our colleagues from the Department of Jobs, Enterprise and Employment, and indeed Department of Social Protection in actually doing that. So again, very, very nicely positioned. So just to say a short word about the study visit, and I just want to thank the institutions who were involved, GMIT, University of Limerick, Limerick Institute of Technology, University College Cork and DCU. We know that they have to put in a lot of energy and effort to meet with review teams, so we're very grateful, and I know there are representatives here this morning, so I just want to acknowledge that. And then in addition to those visits, one member of the team subsequently returned to Ireland and visited Dundalk IT to assess the role of standalone institutes of technology where there's no other higher education provider in the area. So again, it's an important element of the Irish system. We know that as well as meeting the management and staff, students of the HEIs, we arrange for the team to meet with national and regional stakeholders, including Enterprise Ireland, Science Foundation Ireland, IDA, the business organisations and the Department of Jobs, Enterprise and Innovation. And a lot of that work, I think, also focused on the work that we're doing in the regions, regional clusters and regional skills agenda, and we're delighted that there was that very strong engagement. and I wanted to thank the team, all the members of the team who are here for their work. So in conclusion, I suppose what I'm really trying to do is sketch that strong policy context that we're operating in. There's no doubt, I think, that this report is throwing into sharp relief the many challenges that we face. These are challenges of alignment, of funding, of culture, of leadership. And we're finding those challenges not just in entrepreneurship, but in many of the other places that we are working on in the system, whether that's equity of access or international education. It's very interesting. The challenges remain the same in many cases, but they manifest themselves in different areas. So I think what's been really helpful about this process is that they have actually thrown those challenges into sharp relief, but they've helped us because they bring that external expertise and experience of other systems into play to help us work through these challenges and to try to think through what the next steps in the reform programme could be. So in conclusion, thank you. Thank everybody who's here today. Thank the team, and thank my colleagues, Deirdre, Joanne in particular, for their work on this. And I wish the process every success. Thank you.